30 box jump overs on a 30-inch box with a time cap of 13 minutes.
Take a look at our lane assignments, and we have seen some peaking, especially when these athletes are on the rings. And we see Levitt there in lane number 9 and Ron Ortiz in lane number 10. Also keep an eye on Marco Casali there, who is in lane number 7. In 11, we've got Cliff Musgrave, and 12, Mike Egan, and Christopher Stamper in 13 as well. But this is setting up to be a fun one, Justin, and I think we're going to keep our eyes, of course, on Musgrave and Levitt there, 2nd and 3rd place, respectively.
Yeah, I've been so impressed with Musgrave. You know, other than that 14th place finish, all of his other finishes have been top 4.
And Saturday has begun for our Masters men's 50 to 54 division here at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. Getting an eye on King right there, closest to the camera.
So 6 muscle-ups, and this is, you know, we've talked about it with the other age divisions. This is a high-skilled gymnastics movement where they've got to start underneath the rings, come up over the top of the rings, and then press out at the top of a ring dip. I don't think that the weight on the bar for these back squats, for these strong men, is going to be any kind of a hindrance. I think it's going to come down to the muscle-ups to win this event. If you can do well on the muscle-ups, you can win event number 7.
There's Stamper, who is in 6th overall entering the day. And moving quickly.
And just like the 14, 15-year-old boys, it was the guys that could do 2 things on the muscle-ups that pulled ahead. Go unbroken for as many rounds as possible until they got really tired. But then the second thing that a lot of those younger guys did well was they broke up the sets appropriately. And if these guys can do that, that will pull them ahead of some of the other competitors.
Levitt there in the center of your screen, lane number 9. And he was in 3rd entering the day. There's Ron Ortiz. He is our overall leader.
And I want to see how he does on this event, because it's an interesting event where you've got this gymnastics movement, and you know, he's got such a heavy body weight to pull himself up and over the rings, but yet he's so big and strong when he gets to that back squat bar, it's no problem for him there. You see him taking his time. He doesn't want to get a no rep and waste that effort.
And there's your leader, Ortiz, coming out to the back squat portion. Immediately to the right, Musgrave. He already got through his squats, and he's back to the rings.
Yeah, no problem on the back squats for Ron Ortiz, which we would expect. It's going to be the muscle-ups that are going to be problematic for Ron Ortiz, but he's getting through. He's being deliberate, and he's being smart. O.C. Levitt on the left in the pink shorts, man, he is just cramming through these muscle-ups.
Again, Levitt on the right. He was 3rd entering the day. Levitt on the left. Ortiz on the right.
Yeah, he broke that up 4 reps and then 2 reps. But the key there, Ted, was he took a really short break when he did break.
See Ortiz there. He started to come a little loose there as he tried to get into the lockout out of the dip portion. Back to Stamper. 6th entering the day.
Great job on that back squat. Keeping his midline really stable. His weight's on his heels, pressing up from the heels, standing up straight and tall. Lets the judge know that he's completed every rep but doesn't need to get a no rep.
That's back to Ortiz, our leader.
Taking a lot of time to chalk up there. Those are valuable seconds as O.C. Levitt on the left is working his way through this set of 6.
Ortiz was the champion in this division in 2016. In 2017, fell to 6th. So he's trying to make a comeback, reclaim his title.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's able to string them together. Is Ron Ortiz. He's got to break him up every single one. So now we're seeing we're at the point of the event where a lot of these athletes do need to break these up. but how much time do they take in between, and do they push into failure? You saw O.C. Levitt there get about halfway up over the rings and just kind of fail and come back down. So definitely the fatigue is setting in. You don't want to take too much time because those are valuable seconds, but you do need to give your body the required amount of rest that it needs.
Back to Stamper. He was 11th worldwide in the Open in the 50-54 division. Stamper, a former Navy helicopter pilot, now works for the Air Force as a professor of military science. So I guess we should see him comfortable in the air here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he had that great second place finish in event number 2.
Levitt on your left, Stamper on the right. Last time Levitt was at the games, he was 17th in 2015 in the 45-49 division.
Now you'll see the pace slow down. You see O.C. Levitt and Stamper both being very deliberate on their walk back to the rings. This is a chance for them to kind of shake those arms out and recover a little bit before getting back up on those rings. Take your breaks in the transition if you can. Keep your breaks really, really short in the middle of a set of muscle-ups.
So Stamper breaking it up after 1. Now we get a look at Musgrave, who entered the day in 2nd place. For more on Musgrave, send it to Nick Zielinski.
Yeah, guys, Cliff Musgrave, we got to talk to him a little bit at the rope and yoke event. He's actually a lieutenant in the Akron Fire Department. I can relate a little bit, being a firefighter in the city of Arlington, Texas, but being a firefighter, you're required to kind of stay in shape. And Musgrave told us that the other day. You owe it to your crew, you owe it to the city that pays you, and obviously Cliff Musgrave's choice of fitness, CrossFit. He just happens to be incredibly good at CrossFit as he fights into this last round. He's kind of battling it out with O.C. Levitt. Also, take a look down at the end here in lane 4. Jeff Dempsey's making a play for it too, but Cliff Musgrave, of course, you have to stay in shape for the job. He's just very good at staying in shape for his job.
Keeping an eye on Stamper now. And I also appreciated with Musgrave yesterday, Justin, how much he said that he was just having fun with the competition.
Yeah, I think anytime you do that, you kind of take that pressure off. You know, every athlete knows themselves and what works best for them. Obviously, coming in, having fun, being relaxed, hitting each event as hard as he can is working out really well for Cliff Musgrave.
There's Ortiz, our overall leader, on the right side of your screen. Levitt, he entered the day in 3rd place, trying to make a push towards the top of the leaderboard.
So Ron able to press that last one out. Ron's now moving on to the back squat here. Cliff, we're seeing a little hustle out of Cliff Musgrave on the right in the black shirt and white shorts. These guys at this point want to get through those muscle-ups and onto those box jump overs. We're seeing several athletes there already. Christopher Stamper getting his way through those box jumps, using that good technique where you jump up as far as you can onto the box, stay low, and then hop down in one movement.
Again, we're looking at Stamper and Egan right there. Egan in the black, Stamper on the right side of your screen.
So look at the different techniques between Egan and Stamper. Egan standing up on top of the box, taking the time to step and walk over. It's a lot slower than what Stamper is able to do because Christopher Stamper can jump up and jump back down.
The Stamper is in the lead. Right side of your screen being chased by Egan. Now Musgrave onto the box jumps as well. See Stamper moving forward, but Musgrave trying to reel him in. Egan there as well.
All 3 guys pretty much neck for neck. I think that Egan is just taking too much time to walk across that box, and that's going to be costly for Musgrave too, where you're so tight with the reps with the other guys.
So Stamper in the lead on the right side of your screen, but did the stumble from Musgrave allow Egan to move into that 2nd place position? 8 minutes, 45 seconds gone by. Hand up for Stamper. Stamper, 6th entering the day. And he'll climb the leaderboard, but Egan was right there. A slight pause from Stamper. Did Egan get it?
And now Musgrave across.
And so Stamper got in just under 2,500ths ahead of Egan. So Stamper did take it. And
That
then
is
Musgrave
close.
came in about 6 seconds behind the two of them. Here's Walmsley coming in.
Now here's the important point. Cliff Musgrave, comes in third place in this event. He came in second overall to this event in the overall standings. The important point for him is how many people will place between him and Ron Ortiz. That's what's going to affect the leaderboard going into the next event.
There's Dempsey coming across. Dempsey entered the day in 13th. Greg Eisman in lane 16. He's come in as well. Over 3 minutes remain. As we see Montgomery there at the bottom of your screen, judge's hand up for him.
All of these guys finishing between Cliff Musgrave and Ron Ortiz is trouble for Ron Ortiz.
Lima coming in.
And it's really these muscle-ups that's giving him problems. Judge is making sure he presses that out and locks those elbows out. You see a little bit of frustration on his face.
Ortiz comes in at 6'3", 225 pounds. Lean as he is, Justin, that's a lot of weight to move on those rings.
Yeah, it sure is. It comes in really handy when you're moving 245 pounds on the bar. It's only 20 pounds above your body weight, but it's trouble when you're trying to do those muscle-ups. He got a no rep on that first one, and now he's really frustrated.
Just over 2 minutes remain here, event number 7. Ortiz again came in, the leader on the day. But we've seen almost 10 names come in before him.
Yeah.
Again, Ortiz on the left. King on the right.
30-inch box. And once again, jumping 225 pounds up 30 inches. That takes a lot of gas out of the tank. Still a great technique, even being tired. That big athletic jump up on top of the box, and then no wasted movement to get back down on the other side.
Ortiz, a Moulters Masters champion. Competed in the regionals as we watch King come in. The team series in the liftoff. Ortiz has the experience, but right now finds the likelihood of his lead being relinquished. Heading into one more competition on Saturday, and then of course the final on Sunday.
So Matt Bills on the right, trying to finish ahead of Ron Ortiz on the left.
Bills entered the day in 19th. Just over 10 seconds remain. 13-minute cap here. And Ortiz will get in under the cap.
But he's in 15th place.
And Beals will come in. And the horn will sound.
It's good to see Matt Bills come in before the time cap, though. You always want to see that.
So Stamper gets a big win. He entered the day in 6th place. Egan was right behind him. And of course, the change here between watching Ron Ortiz coming in as the leader and finishing just under the cap, that's going to have a big, big effect on the leaderboard. But a great finish there, just a step apart between Egan and Stamper. And let's take a look at what we saw go down, Justin.
Starting in on these muscle-ups, this high-skill gymnastics movement, we knew that this would be the part that would trip some people up. But O.C. Levitt jumping out to an early lead because of his proficiency on those muscle-ups, getting through his first couple rounds unbroken. But Christopher Stamper, steady and consistent, just the grinder, getting the work done, staying ahead. of the other competitors here. O.C. Levitt getting actually a no rep, not able to get it locked out all the way at the top. That's costly. Costly in energy, costly on time. Now Egan and Stamper get to the boxes at virtually at the exact same time, but it was Stamper just using that quick technique of jumping up, no pause, jumping back down, and a little bit of a bobble there by Cliff Musgrave that cost valuable seconds as well. But it was Christopher Stamper neck and neck, barely pulling ahead of Egan for the event win.
And we've got our event winner down with Nick Zielinski. Nick?
Understandably heavy breathing, Chris Stamper, after an event win. Your first event win. What's it like to cross that finish line in front of everybody else and earn that CrossFit Games victory?
I was kind of afraid of this. I think first time at the games, these guys are for real. Age groups, it's deceiving. There's some real competition. This is an event that fell in my, if you want to call it a wheelhouse, I guess that's where it is. I was a gymnast growing up. My father, who I lost Friday a week ago, was my first gymnastics coach. Got me involved in gymnastics and fitness. Was really, really instrumental in us starting our own affiliate. And the partnership that we have with our affiliate owners and the gym that I'm in, that environment, is what's able to carry me through something like this. This is intense.
I was going to say, something like this, you say, quote unquote, your wheelhouse. Yeah. He's watching over you right there, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, he's got the best seat in the house. I'm sure he's happy. I know he's proud of me even before I got here, but I'm sure this is kind of, the icing on the cake, so to speak.
Christopher Stamper, congratulations. Go celebrate the victory. We'll see you later today.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.
Christopher Stamper with a big move to start off his Saturday at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games, taking the event win. Let's get a look at our results here. Stamper, again, just barely ahead of Mike Egan in what was a fantastic finish. And Cliff Musgrave coming in third as well. And then the big change, of course, is going to be how this went down with Ron Ortiz, because he didn't come in till much further down. But we've got to get going. The action here is not slowing down. It's time for us to get into the men's 55 to 59 inside the age group pavilion here in Madison, Wisconsin, the site of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. I'm Ted Ramey alongside Justin Judkins. We've got Nick Zielinski on the floor. Things are really heating up here again on Moving Day 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. Here are our standings. And Justin, we've got Will Powell at the top of the leaderboard, followed by Brig Edwards.
Yeah, you're right. He's in the driver's seat, Will Powell is, and showing off that experience coming in. This is his 6th Masters Games appearance. He's already had 3 championships under his belt, looking for a 4th.
What are our athletes getting themselves into?
Well, we changed things up a little bit from the last age group. So these athletes are going to do 5 rounds for time. They're going to do 3 muscle-ups instead of 6, and 3 back squats. The weight on the bar, 205 pounds, and there's a time cap of 13 minutes. Then they finish with those 30-box jump overs on top of a 24-inch box.
Let's get a look at our athletes and where they're lining up. We've got Will Powell in lane number 9, Brig Edwards in 10, Robert Boschoven in lane 11, Shannon Aiken in lane number 12. And we have seen some looky-looing going on when these guys are on the rings. Now we've got 2 to look at here as we head in to this event number 7 here.
Brig Edwards on the left, coming in hot after winning the last event. I'm sure he'd like to add another first-place finish to his totals here.
And we are underway, 55-59 Masters Division for the men here at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games.
I think, Ted, these will go fast because 3 muscle-ups. These guys are quite adept at this movement. It's just going to be how they can manage the fatigue in the later rounds. It will be interesting to see.
Brig Edwards, 2nd overall, quickly out to the squat rack.
205 pounds. He did receive a no rep for not going low enough on that 1 rep, so he actually had to do 4 there. But I think that Will Powell, this is an event that plays really well to his strengths. He's always been good with muscle-ups. As long as he can also manage the fatigue, this will be one that he could do quite well at.
So Powell and Idler right there going back and forth to the squat. Look like they're in the early lead. We've got a lot of names out there. Powell maybe been a step ahead as we see Edwards coming out as well. Powell already moving his chest piece and making his way back to the muscle-ups.
You know, the athletes know that this is going to be a fast one when they're sprinting in between movements. And that's exactly what we saw from Will Powell. He wants to get back to that ring. He knows he doesn't need much of a break. Yeah, I like to see that hustling all the way through. He's confident. No problem with the back squat at 205. This is just business as usual for Will Powell.
Now, Powell, of course, a multiple champion in the Masters division. In 2017, he was 12th, but in his defense, Justin, he was competing with a cantaloupe-sized benign tumor in his left lung, which he had treated after the 2017 games. But he's looking good and looking quite healthy now here in 2018.
Yeah, great recovery, right? Still able to have that surgery and come back strong. And it's just fun to see athletes, especially at this age, overcome adversity and get back into their training, get back to competing.
Yeah, he had the tumor removed 3 days after the games last year.
Yeah, and he still placed, what was it, 14th at the games last year. He still had a great competition.
Take a look at Brig Edwards there.
He was 12th instead of 14th, excuse me.
Two minutes and 30 seconds gone by.
Tom Fameri there. Big cheering section. You can hear everybody going crazy for him in the background.
See the Tom fam in the background there in the white tank tops. Goes to CrossFit Green Bay. Former high school state champion, the 880-yard dash.
Will Powell already moving on to those box step overs, box jump overs, and he's getting up on top, taking one step. So as long as he can be really efficient here and not take a break, I think we're going to see him cruise to a good event finish here.
Powell moving quickly, looking strong. Again, our overall leader entering the day.
Swanson making a push too. He's going rep for rep with Will Powell. They moved their box pretty much at the same time. A little bit of a bobble on the right from Will Powell. That could be costly.
Swanson on the left, Powell on the right. Hand up for Swanson. Swanson was 5th entering the day. And it'll be Swanson coming in to take event number 7.
Wow, nice job by Swanson.
Eyes back on Powell now. He'll come in. He'll take 2nd in the event. Perna coming in.
Stuart Swanson finished this event under 4 minutes. That is very impressive.
Coming up on the 4:30 mark.
Some guys choosing to step up instead of jump up, and that is allowed in the rules as long as they get both feet on top of the box.
Saw Aiken come in. There's Cole.
Yeah, we knew that these would be fast times. Now Brig Edwards has changed his technique. Now he's jumping up and stepping down. I think that's a faster technique.
He was 4th in this division in 2017. We'll go a little more to Edwards. Let's go down to Nick Zielinski.
Justin, you mentioned the technique he just switched to. He was stepping up. Now he's jumping up and over. Edwards told us that he's had a little bit of an Achilles injury since last year's CrossFit Games. It's kind of hindered his running and jumping ability. So that might have been part of the reasoning behind to start with those step-ups and then move to that box jump-over style. Warming up that Achilles, make sure it's good to go after all those squats, and then he was able to finish. What's even more impressive is having that injury and still being where he is in 2nd place. Obviously, he's going to drop a little bit due to this event, but competing with a hurt Achilles is never an easy task, especially in this level of competition.
And again, we did see Brig Edwards come in. He was 2nd entering the day. We'll see how much this leaderboard is about to change. Again, it was a big event run for Stuart Swanson who came in under 4 minutes. He entered the day in 5th. As we look at Famaray right now, working on his last portion of the box jumps.
These are fast times. They cruise through those muscle-ups, and that's impressive. I don't care what age group you're talking about. To go through this event this fast is very impressive.
6:30 gone by. That's Boschoven there in the middle of your screen. Now we get a look at Famaray, who has the hand up from the judge. Boschoven on the right. Famaray will come in. He entered the day in 7th.
So Famaray will finish in 11th place overall in this event.
Back to Boschoven. Second in the 55-59 division in 2017 as he comes across the line. Back to Dunn.
Choosing to step up and across and then down, rather than jumping up on top of the box. And a lot of that is due not so much to technique that they prefer, but amount of fatigue that they're feeling at this point.
Dunn is making his second games appearance. The last time he was here, he was 5th in the 50-54 division back in 2015. Dunn entered the day 8th overall in this division.
Now he knows he's in the last portions of this event. You see him pick up his pace. I like to see that. Athletes just pushing as hard as they can right to the very end, no matter what place they're in.
Dunn is finished. Just over 8 minutes. It's Jeffrey Christie on the right side of your screen. Vandervoort on the left side of your screen. So Christie making his first games appearance. He was 32nd worldwide in the Open this year in the 55-59 division, representing CrossFit XLT. There's Olhausen, lane number 1.
All right, Jeff Christie.
13-minute cap.
Close to finishing the first half of his 30 box over.
Olhausen, a games rookie.
Under 4 minutes remaining now. And there goes Jeff Christie claiming that car box.
13-minute cap here. 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. Masters men's 55-59 division.
So we're going back to lane number 3 there. There's Jarvis. Eric, he's still trying to get through his muscle ups. And the way that he's favoring that arm, it looks like he might be dealing with an injury. And it doesn't even look like he's going to attempt another rep. Yeah, we'll keep our eye on Eric Jarvis to see if he'll be able to complete a rep.
As we see now Christie coming in. That's Jarvis on your left, who is dealing with an injury. Looks like
you can tell something's not right there.
He was holding his right arm, kind of like he is now.
Yeah, that's not good to see.
As we see Idler on the right side of your screen making quick work of the box.
Especially later, Ted, they've got that swim. Obviously, Jarvis will have a problem if he can't use his arm very well. He'll have problems doing and completing the swim later on, too.
Again, this is Idler.
A lot of the other competitors coming on to cheer on their fellow competitors, which I love to see.
And we see Vandervoort One of the other athletes still out there as well. Again, this is Eidler we're watching on the right side of your screen. And there's Vandervoort on the left now.
Trying to set himself up with that big kip. Get his hands on top of the ring, and a nice, good kip. Great job.
We saw Eidler come in there on the right side of your screen.
And I don't anticipate that the weight would be much of a problem for Vandervoort. I think he's one of the stronger competitors out there. And this is only 205 pounds on that back squat. Yeah,
he's got a listed max of 345. So I don't think that's going to be much of a problem for him.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw him struggle a little bit with those bodyweight movements on that rope on Thursday. So this same thing here on this gymnastics movement, this bodyweight movement on that muscle up. I think he did a great job on that last rep that we watched him.
He almost did a two-part kip on it.
Yeah, he kind of did, didn't he? We see Kent Oldhausen fighting his way through a few more reps on these. Yeah, I missed that last one. So it looks like he does kind of like a kip to get his false grip where he gets his hands on top of the rings, and then another kip to get his shoulders up and over the rings. That's an interesting technique, but sometimes you just got to work with your own body and your own strengths and weaknesses and figure out what works. And he's doing that. That's cool to see.
Just over 20 seconds remain here.
See how he did that little bit of a kip to get that false grip and get his hands on top? Yeah, that's all right.
Back to Oldhausen on the right side of your screen. 5 seconds remain. And Vandervoort will not be able to get another one in, but event number 7 goes to Stuart Swanson. Justin, let's see how he got it done.
Yeah, he kind of snuck his way in there, but all the guys starting in on those muscle ups, that nice gymnastics movement. Will Powell jumped out to an early lead. He was pounding through those muscle ups, sprinting himself to the next movement, and then right back to the rings. No problem on a 205-pound back squat. Swanson getting that bar moving, kept it moving the whole time that he was at the squat station. Powell getting to the box jump overs first. Swanson starting second, but Swanson with just a little bit faster, and look how fast his reps are. A little bobble there in that no rep, which was costly for Will Powell, as Swanson able to capitalize on that and finish just seconds ahead of Will Powell for the win.
And we've got Swanson down on the floor with our Nick Zielinski.
Stuart Swanson, an event win, a sub 4-minute time. What was the strategy coming into this one?
Well, muscle ups are definitely probably my best. And even though there's only 3, it kept me in the race. And my strategy was just I had to keep moving. There's no delay, no nothing. It was mine for the take because I'm fast. Might not be as strong as some of these guys, but it was definitely mine for the take. I had to keep that in my mind the whole time.
How much do you guys feed off of each other in an event like this? It's short, fast, quick. How much of that is back and forth knowing the guy next to you is just as fast?
Yeah, well, he's the number one. We've been going back and forth the last couple of days. He was going muscle up for muscle up, squat for squat. It came down to the box jumps. And I practiced pounding ones before I came in here, and that was the fastest way. Even with a one no rep. So just gave it everything I had. I needed it today. Definitely needed it.
Stuart Swanson, congratulations on the event win. We'll see you in the swim a little bit later.
Stuart Swanson trying to make his move Saturday 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. He gets the event win here at event number 7 for Masters Men's 55-59 division. 13 seconds clear of the overall leader, Will Powell, who repped well despite not getting yet another event win.
Yeah, and you don't have to win every single event to be the champion at the end of the competition. You just have to do really, really well. So far, Will Powell has done exactly that.
Stuart Swanson taking event number 7. And the action does not stop here. It's time for us Now to move to the men's 60-plus Masters division, event number 7. We're here at the Alliant Energy Center in the Age Group Pavilion. I'm Ted Ramey alongside Justin Judkins. We've got Nick Zielinski on the floor. And now let's get a look at our overall standings as we get set for our 60-plus division here. Event number 7, and no surprises, Justin. We see David Hippensteel there at the top, but Cal Cherrington has had a good showing so far. Can he make his move?
You know, I think he definitely can. This is an event that plays well to the strengths of both men, so it's going to be an interesting race. Cherrington, I think he's in a good spot mentally right now.
Let's talk about this one, Justin. What are our athletes getting themselves into? How will they be tested?
Okay, 5 rounds for time. It's going to be 2 muscle-ups and 3 back squats. The weight on the bar is going to be 185 pounds. Once they complete those 5 rounds, then it's off to those box jump overs, and they've got to complete 30 box jump overs on a 24-inch box. They can do step overs if they want to. Time cap 13 minutes.
Let's see where our athletes will be lining up. We've got Armando Garcia-Besney there in lane number 9, David Hippensteel in lane number 10. Of course, he is our overall leader. Lane number 11, we've got Cal Cherrington. Of course, he's giving chase as well. We've got Rodrigo Dominguez in lane 12, Bill Stites in lane number 15. And this is one where we've seen the guys when they're on the rings taking a look at the competitors. Let's now take a look at Besney, Justin, and of course Cherrington. These two guys, they're right in there. They've had a good showing so far, trying to reel in David Hippensteel.
Yeah, I mean, I've been so impressed with both gentlemen finishing at the top in all of their events. You know, Cherrington coming in, he won event number 3, 4, and 6, right? And Armando, 3 top 3 finishes.
Moving day has begun for the Masters men's 60-plus division here at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games.
And this is an interesting event, I think, because of the muscle-ups. And traditionally, that muscle-up has been a big milestone when you get your first one after you start CrossFit. So I think if they can get through those muscle-ups in short order, that will help the winner. Hippensteel, we know he's great at the bodyweight stuff. He knows he's going to go fast on this. You see him sprinting from the back squat station to the rings.
And Hippensteel, the 2-time defending champion here at the 60-plus division.
He just can't afford to get no reps. He got a no rep on that first back squat on the last set. Being nice and deliberate now, making sure that every rep counts.
And Hippensteel moving well here throughout these first couple rounds.
And I think he's got an advantage over Cal Cherrington on the muscle-ups. I think that Cherrington is going to struggle a little bit more than Hippensteel when it comes to those rings.
Minute 20 gone by, event number 7, men's Masters 60-plus division. We're looking at the 2-time defending champion, David Hippensteel. He is the overall leader. See the middle of your screen, Garcia-Besney there.
Yep, both guys just running through this event, sprinting back to the rings, almost rep for rep, Hippensteel and Garcia-Benz. This will come down to those box jumps for both guys because they're both good on the muscle-ups.
Hippensteel on the right, Garcia-Besney on the left.
Look at that, pretty much rep for rep.
Hippensteel, whoa, was a little bit of trouble there for Armando.
Just missed that rack.
So that opens the door a little bit for Hippensteel. CT Robes on his way back to the rings.
And I want to see if they break them up now that they're starting to get tired. It looks like the short rep scheme is going to help them link them together. Both guys able to do that. This heat will go fast.
Hippensteel The overall leader taking a look at the field now. 2 minutes, 45 seconds in. Hippensteel in the lead, the first to the box.
Choosing to step up and walk across. We've got 3 or 4 athletes all on the boxes. It's going to be whoever can put their head down and just push it now that the fatigue is starting to set in. So
Hippensteel with a little bit more of a step over, whereas Garcia Besne still going with a little bit more of the classic jump. Two-footed plant.
Yep. And either method is fine as long as they get both feet on top of the box.
So the first round on the box for Hippensteel is just about coming to a close.
Oh, that was a fast transition. That was smart. Instead of flipping the box, he just drug it into place. A little bit different technique than what Garcia Besne did on the left in the blue. Brown, he's going fast too. Brown is in the white shorts on the far left.
This is Hippensteel, right side of your screen. Judge's hand is up.
Oh, a little bit of a bobble for Garcia Besne.
Hand up on the outside for Brown as well. Who's it going to be? Hippensteel and Brown. Right and left of your screen. It's going to be Brown getting the win over Hippensteel.
Wow, he pulled that out right in that last 15. Yeah, that was big. That was big for both gentlemen. Woo! He came in like a second ahead of Hippensteel. Brown did.
Now there's Sherrington coming in as well.
So Sherrington coming in 4th place. That was a great job by Cal Sherrington. Because I look at this on paper and I wouldn't necessarily say that this is an event that lines up with Cal Sherrington's strengths. But yet for him to come in and place 4th in this event, that's huge for his competition.
Especially it's big for Brown. He was 5th entering the day, so he's making his move. That's going to put a lot of points on his scorecard. Getting a look at Howard there, closest to your screen. Bourdon comes in. Howard is in.
Russell's in 5th. Howard in 7th.
Desuri over there. Molbeier. And Molbeier will come across. Desuri comes in. 5:30 gone by.
A lot of guys now, they know that 1st and 2nd place is out of reach, and so they're just being controlled, smooth as fast, stepping up and walking across.
Getting a look at Sigler now.
No wasted movement, still being efficient.
14th entering the day. He'll come across just under the 6-minute mark. There's Angove, 4th in the 60-plus division in 2017. On the left side, LaFountain. Angove on the right.
Competitors turn into coaches once they finish and go on and coach the other guys to their finish. I like to see that.
Angove, top 5 finisher in this event in 2015, 16, and 17 with 5th, 2nd, and 4th place finishes as LaFountain comes in.
Fountain will be 12th in this event.
Angove comes in. This is Mariotti we're getting a look at now. Entered in 15th, and he'll limp in.
Yeah. Some guys still working their way through those muscle ups.
Dominguez on the left of your screen. Hamby on the right. Dominguez entered the day in 4th. So he'll see a bit of a drop on the leaderboard. Hamby on the right side of your screen.
And he's getting high enough from that kip. He's just not able to turn it over. You want to try to do a big sit-up right there and get your nose pointed to the ground.
This is Ogden in lane number 20. For more on his story, let's go to Nick Zielinski on the floor.
Yeah, guys, Ken Ogden, he's sitting in 20th place right now. It's his first appearance ever at the games. A little background on Ken Ogden. During the Open this year, during this year's Open, he was going through chemotherapy for squamous skin cell cancer treatments. The good news is that today, that cancer is gone. We all know what kind of devastation treatments for cancer can bring to the body. You want to stay in bed, you don't feel like moving. For Ken Ogden to continually go through those treatments, yet still finish the Open, then back that up with the Masters online qualifier and still be here today is nothing short of a miracle. So Ken Ogden, obviously enjoying that first CrossFit Games appearance, went through quite a bit of adversity just to get here. So easy to root for. We always think about these guys as athletes first, but there's so much more to the background stories of every athlete in all these age divisions.
An inspiring story again from Ken Ogden, the Games rookie. 3 times he's taken part in the Open. Against all odds, has made it here today, competing and healthy.
Yeah, very impressive to come back from adversity like that, still be able to compete here at such a high level.
Less than 4 minutes remain here. Keeping an eye on Ogden on the right side of our screen. See Hamby there on the left side.
And I got to tell you, Ted, these are life goals right here. You're watching these guys 60 plus and they look like that. To know that that's possible, these guys are really setting the standard when it comes to fitness in your later years.
Again, this is Dominguez we're getting a look at in the blacktop. He entered the day in 4th place, having some trouble here today in event number 7.
We knew from the beginning if these guys could get through the muscle-ups, the rest of the event would go well for them. But it looks like this is the part that is the sticking point for Dominguez.
13-minute cap. Back to Ogden, Games rookie.
As soon as these guys are done, they're going to be heading to the lake for their 500-meter swim. So they're going to cool down a bit here. But
at this point, Justin, do you try and find a flaw in your form, or is it just gut it out?
I think right now it's just gut it out. You know, whatever you can do, you're closing in on the final portions or the final minutes before the time cap gets up, and fatigue has already set in. Your form is breaking down, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get up and over those rings.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your
It looks like Ogden has the height. He just can't get those palms turned.
Yeah, that turnover, that transition between being underneath the rings and over the top of the rings is just a little bit tricky, especially when you're really tired. Oh, and he was right there. He's right there. A lot of good coaches will say, try to keep those rings together as close as you can and trace your pec. Then a big sit-up, get your nose pointed down to the ground if you can.
There's Bell on the right, who is competing with a torn meniscus. We saw him limping on the run on the rope and yoke portion of the competition. And this meniscus tear happened right before the Open, but he pushed his way through. You see it on his right leg. He's got the big brace that, again, Justin, I most usually associate with offensive and defensive linemen in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. And whatever he needs to stabilize, you know, with that meniscus, there's going to be some pain there for sure.
Minute left here for our competitors in event number 7. Masters men Saturday at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games.
Mark Landry not quite able to get up and over the rings like we mentioned a few of the other guys. Same situation.
Just over 30 seconds remain. Back to Ogden, lane number 20.
Another good rep from Ron Hamby.
way back to the Squall Rock in round number 4.
Down to 15 seconds now.
15 seconds remaining.
Time for one last attempt.
Squad, you have 10 seconds on the clock.
Ah, he was right. He's so close. He really is.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And the horn will sound. And that wraps it up for the first event for the Masters men's 60 plus today. But there is our event winner, Michael Brown, who came into the day in 5th place. And this is how he did it, Justin.
Yeah, Hippensteel started off with a flash, just getting through those ring muscle-ups. Onto the back squats, no problem for David Hippensteel. Armando Garcia-Besney going rep for rep with him in the beginning. And then Hippensteel started to pull ahead of him. But Besney had that costly little just mistake by missing the bar there. Just a little bit of a bobble. Hippensteel starts first. Brown right behind him on those box jump overs. But it was Michael Brown who was able to go just a little bit faster on those box jump overs and finish just seconds ahead of David Hippensteel. So Michael Brown, up to this point in the competition, has had 2 second-place finishes, and now he gets his first place finish.
And we have our event winner, Michael Brown, with our Nick Solinsky on the floor.
Michael Brown, the event win, competing against these guys day in and day out. How difficult is it to get that event win and finish ahead of everybody else?
Well, I tell you what, this was my goal for the weekend, was to come in here and get an event win. This is my first year at the games. I knew it was going to be tough. This one I just pushed. I've been knocking on the door. I knew this one's in my wheelhouse. So it was good to win one.
Executed to perfection. As we continue on in the weekend, how do you continue that climb up the leaderboard? Swim today, another event tomorrow. How do you get into that podium position?
Yeah, it's just take it one race at a time, man. Going into this swim, we'll see how I do. I'm not a strong swimmer, but I'm going to give it a shot, and we'll see how we come out. We'll just keep knocking on the door.
All right, Michael Brown, congratulations.
You bet. Hey, and I want to give a shout out. One, thank God that I'm able to do this. The Lord keeps me healthy, keeps me safe. This is for my buddy Scott back home. He's fighting a harder battle than any of us fight here. All the people fighting cancer. Cancer sucks. Stay strong, buddy.
All right, Michael Brown, congratulations. See you a little bit later.
Michael Brown, our event winner. Let's take a look at our results here from event number 7 for the men's 60 plus. He comes in just under a second ahead of David Hippensteel. Hippensteel, of course, our overall leader. That second place finish likely keeping him in the lead. Armando Garcia-Besney comes in 3rd place, and Cal Sherrington coming in 4th. So good representation from people who are towards the top of the leaderboard coming in. And Justin, what's your take after what we've seen now from 7 events?
You know, I'm so impressed by Michael Brown to come in when he needed it big. He came up big and got the event win, but also Cal Sherrington. I mean, this is an event that I don't think plays well to his strengths, and he came in and proved that he can still hang with the big dogs here.
So the men's 60 plus is finished, and the action for the moment is finished here at the Alliant Energy Center inside the Age Group Pavilion. But the action will not stop. Stay tuned to games.crossfit.com for continuing 2018 CrossFit Games coverage.